VETO just came out and he looks like the most broken sentinel in the game. So here is setups for every single map on every single side. Starting on Abyss A side, first what you want to do is you want to place down your E little trophy system down here in the ditch, because I don't think people realize this, but this is going to be impossible to shoot unless you wallbang it, and you can even place it further down so it won't be wallbanged. And then you simply just activate it, and then this will shoot anything basically in this radius here. So if you throw down like a fucking gecko flash, it will get taken down. Anything like that, it'll be perfect. For your TPs, place one in heaven here. And then if you want to play retake, you place your second one a little bit further behind. That way you can take a little fight or something. And then when you get util spammed, if they do break this, then you can simply just TP out here. Or if you want to be a little bit more aggressive, you can take a fight here, TP out heaven, and then swing again and take another fight. And then if you don't want to use your retake TP, you can also just place a TP mid here. So you have one TP for mid, one TP for heaven. So essentially you take a fight, TP out, and then take a fight here again heaven, and then you can TP out again, and now all of a sudden you're on mid if you want to rotate fast, etc., which is going to be stupidly broken. And this is probably what I'm going to be using when I do op, because I do think this character is really strong for opping. So in essence, you can literally just take a fight from over here, TP over to this TP here, and then again TP over to this one. And now all of a sudden you have infinite map control and you can be anywhere with the op. So in essence, this character is probably a stronger opper than Chamber. As for your Q on A side, honestly, very simple. I would just place it behind the little wall here. So when they do push out, they will get tripped by it. Alternatively, if you have a little bit more time, you can also just jump throw it on top of this box here and swing off it. However, this one is probably going to get broken, so you need a little bit of the distraction. Now, moving over to B side, I do think this side is going to be a little bit stronger, just because what you can do is you can place your E down here in the little ditch, and look how difficult this is to spot. You have to walk all the way up here, and by the time you're already here, a lot of your teammates have already dropped down utility on the side, right? So then you can literally just sit backside, activate it, swing off it, and then you place one of your TPs on the little box here, and the other TP up here in heaven, meaning you can swing backside, take a fight, instantly TP over here, take another one, and then you can TP up heaven again and take one more fight. Alternatively, you can also place one TP heaven here, and then you place the other one over here on mid, which again means that you have basically infinite map control. So you can swing out here, TP up heaven, take another fight, TP over here, and now all of a sudden you're at mid and can swing again. So this character is stupidly broken. As for your Q, what you can do is I would just place it behind this little ledge here. So when they do start to walk up, they get tripped by this. Alternatively, you can also place it a little bit closer to danger if you think they are going to path this way, and that will essentially just bungee them, and then you can swing off it, right? All right, let's move over to bind. All right, moving over to bind here on A side, really simple. Place your E under this box here, which again is going to be really hard to destroy, because you kind of have to push up here and then wallbang it if you want to destroy it. And by the time people are here, they're already using the util, right? So this trophy system is just going to stop them, right? For your Q, very simple again. If you don't want to deal with showers, you can honestly just jump place it on top of this box here, and they will get bungeed if they try to push. Alternatively, if you do know there's a Raze or Jet who always dashes in shower, you can simply honestly just place it somewhere here and then swing off it, because they will get decayed, right? Meaning that you can kind of just right click them with a classic. As for your TPs, here comes the little interesting part. Honestly, I think you should do a lot of off angles with this character. So you can, for example, place your TP on top of truck here at the start of the round, take it back. Before you're even going on top of truck, I would recommend placing a TP on top of heaven here, either on the right or the left side, doesn't really matter, because then again, you know, you can take the fight, swing out here, instantly TP back, and now all of a sudden you're at heaven and you have another angle you can peek off of. Alternatively, you guys know bind is rotation heavy, right? So what you can also do is just place a TP for CT or something like that, just so you can rotate a lot faster than normal, right? You can play lamps or something like that, instantly TP back CT, and then you can just run over to B side if you need help. As for B side, one thing I recommend doing here is placing your TP orb in elbow, and then the other one you can honestly kind of like do whatever you want with. I would probably place it somewhere on CT, because that way you can pretty much swing out, take a fight here, right? TP back, and now your elbow, you're safe, and then you can take another fight here if you want to, and then just TP CT if you get util dumped, stuff like that. For your E on bind B side, you can kind of do anything you want. What I would recommend though, honestly, is placing it under hookah here, because you know that when people push out, right, they're gonna try to satchel and stuff, or use the grenade, etc, etc, which means that your position backside shouldn't really be that bad to stand in then, because you just activate it, and when you've activated it, you won't really get util done for this side. And as you can see also, it does cover almost all of the entrance to along here as well, which then again will just be stupidly broken. So try to place it a little bit closer to this side under hookah. Additionally, also, you can place it over. Doesn't really matter. Just choose one of the two. I think this is the best spot because this kind of hit both entrances to B side. So you're chilling. As for your Q, what you can do is you can ask a friend of yours or someone like a race or something to combo it. So in essence, you would place it here at the opening of hookah. When they try to push in, tell your race, yo, throw a grenade through this. And when they get seized, obviously there'll be one shot to the grenade, right? So you get a bunch of free kills. If you don't want to place it there, you can also just place it on the entrance to long here and swing off it. Doesn't really matter. You can choose. Bibbidi bobbidi boobidi. Let's go over to the next map. Alright, moving on to the French map. If we start on A side, what you want to do is very easy, very easy. So, you know how with Cypher you can like jump camera things? You're basically just gonna do the same thing with VETO. Jump, bada bing, bada boom. Because if you place it, say, here, brother, they can see it from here, you know? Which is not very poggers. Not very poggers. So, what you want to do is jump, throw it up here. Meaning that if they try to use util, they won't be able to shoot it until they're almost finished with the choke point. And what happens then? I'm glad you asked. Hopefully you asked. Basically, jump, bada bing, right click this. Now you have a seize on top of the lantern. Very cool. So when they try to walk in, bro, they get hit by this. And then what do you do then? Well, you need to have one TP in the corner here, and then you want to have another TP in the corner over here. So what is the game plan? You stand here, you hear them, oh shit, swing, bada bing, bada boom, maybe get one, instantly TP over here. Then if you want to, you can take another fight. However, if they are already very close to sight, or if they are not peeking at all, you can take a TP again, bada bing, and now you're basically halfway over to B side. You're not halfway over to B side, but you're halfway over to B side. You know what I mean? Additionally, if you want to, you can also kind of play him like an upper mid. And what I mean by this is you can place a TP on B side here, and you can place a TP here. And what does this do? Bro, it basically just gives you infinite map coverage. So let's say you take a shot here, bomb, you get one. What do you do, bro? Well, you TP over to B side here. You can also TP up to heaven if you want to do that. Like, it doesn't matter. Just make sure you have one TP for B and one TP for A. And then you can take another shot here. If you don't want to do that, you can hit this shot, go back, bada bing, TP over to A side. And what do you know? You are ready to fight one more time, which is honestly very broken and is probably one of the reasons I will be maining this character, because I feel like if I play this character, I would probably hit rank 1 Radiant. Have I been close to rank 1 Radiant? A little bit. Is it possible with Deadlock? Probably not. Do I need a character who can solo carry? Absolutely. Now, for B side, very simple here again. You want to place your trophy system on top of these like bushes here, so that when they push in, all the util is going to be destroyed, which is not a fun time for them. For your Q, place it on the ledge here, like this, so when they push in, they get seized. Then for your 2 TPs, here you have a choice. Now, it's very important that you listen to me here. So you can place one TP on the wooden plank, and then you can place the other one up heaven. This is one of the setups, which means that you can stand in the corner, take a fight, TP over again, take another fight, and then TP heaven. However, if you do notice a pattern with all of the enemies util dumping you and somehow breaking this thing and just spamming you, what you can do instead is have a TP set for mid here, which then again will make you even safer. So you just literally take a fight, TP, bump, and then you're out of sight, you're safe, life is good. Let's move over to the next map. Excuse me? Moving over to Haven, if we start on A side, here's what you're gonna do. You are gonna place one TP here, and then you're gonna place one TP in heaven in the corner here. Very important, it's in the corner. Now, what do you do with the C's? I'm glad you asked. You can either place it on top of the box like this, or you can also place it on top of the box right, either like closer to short or a little bit further away. Doesn't really matter. Like this. Only thing though is you gotta make sure this is line of sight because it only activates if it's line of sight of someone. So unless they're here, it won't activate. So try to place it on like a site of the box you want to be line of sight like this. As for your E, this is a little bit of a more tricky one to place. What I would say though is I would place it down here because the only way they can break it is if they actually push onto side. And usually you know what happens. Jet places a smoke over here, dashes in, and then she wants to fight. But since this is active, her smoke is not gonna be active, right? So you can literally just stand behind the box and swing off. Like, this character doesn't make any sense, bro. But yeah, with the TPs, here's what you're gonna do. You're basically just gonna try to take a fight short if you want to. You can push over into the corner here. Then just TP over if you want to TP to safety and try to rotate fast. If you don't want to TP into safety, you can also just use this TP in heaven anywhere on site. Even in the corner here, you can still use it. And then, wow, you can peek heaven again. Very nice. Very broken character. You could also use the teleport for off angles. So obviously you can do it on top of this box here. If you wanna TP and hold an off angle, you can do that here. However, just do the TPs I said, bro. They're a little bit broken. Moving over to B side. Please don't play this guy on B side, bro. Please don't play him on B side, bro. That's all I'm gonna say. However, if you do play him on B side, here's what you gotta do. Listen to Boney here. Listen to the best veto main, probably, because this character is like basically the pinnacle of me. So, C's trophy system. They will see it right here, but that means they've already used their abilities, right? For your teleport, honestly, I would either teleport first up to the box here if you want an off angle. The second TP, you can honestly either place inside garage if you want to be able to rotate fast, or somewhere along those lines. So let's say you've already TP'd. Let's say you place down your first TP somewhere towards C. Then after you place your second one and held this angle, you just TP out. Vice versa, you can always also do it for this towards A side. So stand up here and take a fight and then TP out, right? But in all honesty, I would honestly just use both these TPs like they are and just play on B side. So if you need to rotate somewhere, you can just TP out either towards C or towards A. I'm moving over to C side. I wouldn't recommend this side again. I think A side is going to be best for him. But hey, if you have to play it, you have to play it. That's how Sentinel life is, bro. First of all, jump throw the C's up on this box. Bada bing, bada boom, right? So if they walk in, they get sucked, right? I love getting sucked. For his E ability, honestly, it's a bit hard to place on C side. You can place it in the corner over here, because if they try to util spam you, right, they will see it right about here. However, what I would say instead is to probably place it backside somewhere over in this direction, because you know how many Sovas like to put their arrows here and they like to shock dart, etc., right? So you just activate it and then all of this area will basically be stopped, right? As for the TPs, this is a bit of a tricky one. So you kind of have two options. The first option is to place a TP inside garage. Then for the second one, I would honestly just place it behind this box here. Meaning that, let's say you take a fight up on plateau. You TP over here. And then you're safe from everything if you're getting util spam from here. And then you can just TP again over to garage and swing again and take another fight. However, if you don't want to do that and you know that they're probably not going to hit your site and everyone hates you, honestly, just place a TP back here, and then you can place another one over on B side, back B side, or behind B side here. So you literally just swing out, take a fight, TP, TP again, and now you're on B side and you're almost over on A. So this character is just like, I don't know. Yeah, let's move over to the next map. All right, moving over to Pearl. I also forgot to say this is going to be the maps that are in the next map pool, right? So what you want to do for Pearl is here again, it's pretty simple. The way his E works, honestly, you should just place it somewhere where people can't destroy it, because obviously it's a one shot, right? So place it in a corner over here like this, so that when they try to util spam you, you just activate it, because they can't break it until they peek this angle, right? Which is where they're very vulnerable from a lot of different ones, right? Then for his Q, place it in the corner over here. Like so. When they push down, they get ceased, right? And then you can swing off it. For his teleports, here comes the cool part. So you here again kind of have a little bit of a fashion and like flair you can do. What I would do is place a TP on dugout, and then you place another TP more towards CT. So you can either place it in the corner here or in the corner over here. So what this will do is, in essence, you can push up, try to take a fight if you want to. You have to remember that this TP takes a long time to wind up, right? But if you don't want to take this fight, you can play a little bit more ratty towards main here. TP over to dugout. And then when you try to take a fight again, you just TP over to CT again, right? This is going to be one of the more aggressive ones, and it's going to be high risk, high reward, right? If it works. If you don't want to do that, you can also play more towards art, where you will have one TP that's set up either towards sewers, or you can place it more towards B, right? So you will take a fight art, TP out, now you're safe. And then you can kind of do whatever you want. So the TP setup here would probably look something like this, where you have one TP set towards B, or more towards B, I guess you could say. And then you have one TP that's set a little bit more towards CT. So either over here or in this corner. So imagine you try to take a fight art, right? You whiff. Cool. Now you go over here. And then you can do whatever you want. You can refight it if you want to do that. And then if you want to get away, you can just TP back over and you're good to go. All right, moving over to B side. Honestly, I think B side is a little bit better for VETO. Here, you have a really cool set play that you can do. So in essence, let's say you just place your Cs over on the doors here, because then you get notified if they're pushing, right? Then you place your TP in the corner like so. And then you get someone to bait for you. You can push up, swing, take a fight. If you don't want to take this fight and you want to get away, you just TP over, and now all of a sudden you're in B link. And then when you're in B link, have another TP set up for, let's say, maybe heaven. So it looks something like this. You swing here, take a fight, TP over, and then you can either choose to refight it if you want to do that. You're like, oh no, I'm scared, I want to get out. TP one more time. And now you're in heaven and you can take another fight. As for the C's, I would say use it kind of like a Vice Racer Vine. You know how there's a Racer Vine everyone uses on this map, where it's like you place it in the middle like so. Just do the same thing. Honestly, I think it's the best way to do it. You can also place it on top of this box here if you want to do that. As for his E, honestly, I would just place it on the bottom of this little box. And then when they try to util dump you, you just activate it like this. And then the util just gets massacred, right? Let's move over to the next map. All right, moving over to split. I honestly think this is probably VETO's best map. Why? Because you can TP so many places. So starting on A side here, never place your Q in like the little corner here, because again, it needs to have line of sight, right? So if you're gonna place it, either place it on the ledge like this. However, I would say instead of doing that, honestly, just place it more towards the entrance of side like this, so that if they try to path down towards the bomb site, they're gonna get cooked by this. And that's where you combo your TP, right? So for this, I would say place one TP behind here elbow, which means that you can take a fight, bam, 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 TP over here, and then you can swing again, take another fight if you so choose so. For your second TP, honestly, it's a bit of a hard one. I would say it is really hard to hold split A side on your own. So you can honestly just place another TP for CT and then just play retake. For your E, this is a bit of a tricky one. You have two places you can place them. I'll let you guys think. Which of the map here can you place it on? 3, 2. I'm just lying. You don't get 3 seconds. So for your E, either place it right about here, so that when they start to spam util, you activate it.
Denial active.
Like so. And then as you can see, all this area is basically just getting cooked. If you don't want to place it there, you can also place it in flower.
Watcher expired.
Like this, and then activate it again, so that the util won't really work, right? If you want to change your TP setup a little bit, what you can do instead is, as you guys probably know, or you've seen, chamber mains like to place a TP down here in vents. You can do the same. You can place your TP down here, take a fight or whatever you want to do. 180. And now all of a sudden, you're either fighting mid or you're somewhere else, right? So for your first TP, place it in vents. For your second one, here you can kind of choose what you want to do. If I was you though, I would probably place it over towards spawn like this, because then if they decide to go somewhere else, you can just rotate really easily. So it's going to look something like this. You swing out, take a fight. You're like, oh shit, I can't aim. TP out, bomb. And then you're like, oh wait, they're going towards B. Bomb, teleport, and then in 2 seconds you're already in B heaven. For your B side setup, here you can do some cheeky shit that I'm gonna abuse. So first TP up on this box here, because then you can actually TP on top of it. The second TP over by pillar, and now you can already imagine, right? You place the orb up here. Now, okay, tell me, what initiators do you usually play on Split? It's probably Teho or Sky or something like that, right? So Sky dog's out here. The dog instantly gets sapped by this thing. They will not be able to clear you out from this spot. So you guaranteed get at least 1 kill if you don't whiff. And then like, oh, I got 1 kill. That's pretty nice. What do I do now? I'm kind of cooked, am I not? No. You literally just TP over here, and then you can take another fight, man. Sorry, as for your Q, you can either place it right about here, right where I already have my other one, so when they push out they get sucked, or you can place it further back like so, if you choose to do so. All right, moving over to my probably favorite map in the map pool right now, Sunset. So for Sunset, very simple. I'll show you 2 TP set plays on A and then 2 TP set plays on B. So starting on A, first place your TP on top of the box, and then you place the second one up here towards CT. And what this will basically do is you can push up, try to take a little bit of an aggressive fight towards elbow like this. Then you can TP up. And now all of a sudden you have another off angle that you can abuse because they're going to push up to elbow, right? And then you hold the angle, you take a fight. And then you just TP towards CT here again and you're safe. You're out of the fight. As for the other TP setup, here's what you're going to do. You're going to place one of your TPs on top of the box, like this one, and then you're gonna place the other one on top of the other box, like so, which basically means that, let's say you try to take a fight here, it doesn't go so well, then you TP over in this angle, and remember that this smoke doesn't cover if you stand on top of this box, so you can get a free pick towards A main. And then when you've gotten the free pick, you can teleport over to the other box and then take another off angle. So you just have off angles deluxe on this character. As for your Q and E ability, it honestly just depends what you want to prioritize. If you want to prioritize elbow, you just place it on the stairs here, so when they push out, this hits them, right? Or if you want to prioritize the other entrance, you just place it behind this box like so, and that will work wonders. For your E, this is a bit of a tricky one. I was thinking that maybe you can place it behind default and it will hit everything, but I don't think that will work. So I would honestly just recommend you to either prioritize elbow or prioritize more towards A main. So like for instance, place it behind this box like so, or you can also place it behind elbow like this, and then it will activate, right? Or you can also just place it on top of the corner here. All right, moving over to B side. Here, if we start with the E, you're gonna do the Cypher jump camera thing, right? Jump, bomb, place it as high as possible like this. So when they try to use their util, I mean, you know what's gonna happen. It's just gonna bing, bing, bing. For your C's, honestly, just place it at the entrance, I would say. Like, either on this side or on this side. Doesn't really matter. For your teleports, here's a little bit of the tricky part. What I would say, though, is place 1 TP on top of this box, because that way you can play this ratty angle. Take a fight or hold this angle. Instantly TP out. And then you're safe again, and you can hold another off angle. For your second TP, this is a bit of a hard one. You can already ask your teammate to close this door and place it on top of this box. If you don't want to do any of those TP plays, you can also do a little bit of a more aggressive one, where you basically just place your TP right over here and mark it, and then you place the other one on top of the box over in this direction. So what you're gonna do is, right when the barrier drop down, you're gonna push right without making noise. Put yourself in this corner, probably by a judge, get one, TP out, and then instantly TP back to this thing. And then now you're fully safe. You get 1 or 2 and you're out of there, bro. It's perfect. But yeah, I do think VETO might become my new main, guys, just because of how expressive he is and how much outplay potential you truly have. Like, you can TP behind people like Omen. You can tank any ability in the game. If you have better mechanics than everybody else, then you're gonna win. And I feel like that's something I missed from maining Deadlock, right? I feel like there you have to be more technical, if that makes sense, with util, and you don't really express yourself as much. So I do think this might actually be the character where I'm able to hit rank 1 rating with. I was kind of close with Deadlock, but not really. So I think this is obviously the next choice.